Linda, she says she's been abducted by extraterrestrials not once but several times in her life. She's in silhouette today because she fears her family will be in danger if she reveals her identity. Now, her story, guys, is a little bit different because her abduction happened right here in New York City in front of many witnesses. Linda, tell us what happened.
Apparently, the real reason why I'm here is because, in shadow, because I'm trying to protect my family from the ridicule.
I understand that, but tell us what happened.
Well, apparently, one evening when I went to bed and I was in the middle of the Lord's Prayer, you know, a lot of us say our prayers before we go to sleep, I felt a presence in the room, and I felt numbness start creeping up from my toes up. And I closed my eyes because I was very frightened, and then I realized if I was going to protect my family and me, I'd have to open up my eyes. So I did. I opened my eyes and I saw this thing standing there at the foot of my bed. Now, you have to understand something. We all put locks on our doors for a reason, to keep outsiders from coming in.
But somebody was in your room.
Yes.
And what did this person look like, or thing?
Well, you know, it sounds ridiculous. I don't like to say it was an alien. All I can say is that it was a thing, and it was at the foot of my bed, and it had gigantic black eyes. It had a huge head. And
what did it do to you? Did it touch you? Did it talk to you? Did it?
No, it didn't talk to me, and I'm not an alien, and I you know, it's just an experience
that happened to you
consciously. But what had happened here was I took a pillow and threw it at this thing, and it fell back. And that's when I felt I might have made a mistake by throwing that pillow. I thought it was going to
disappear,
get even with me, and go and hurt my family.
But it didn't hurt you.
Apparently not, because between the time I threw the pillow and the time I felt myself drop back into my bed, there was some missing time there. There's a gray area.
A gray area like Tanner had a gray area of 2 hours. I understand from that experience you now have a scar on your nose and you don't know why that happened to you.
Oh, yes. Well, that was at the beginning. In 1977, I found a lump on the right side of my nose. I thought it was a tumor. So I went to a specialist, and he examined my nose, and he told me that I had built up cartilage inside my nose from a scar. So I'd never had surgery before, and he did ask me, why have you had surgery? Mm-hmm. So I said I didn't have surgery outside of an impacted wisdom tooth.
Huh.
Maybe this scar that he found in my nose was made with a fingernail.
Hmm. Hey, so Linda, hang on, because I want to get someone else involved that knows your case very well. Also joining us today is Bud Hopkins, one of America's top ufologists, who heard Linda's story and made her the subject for his latest book, Witness the True Story of the Brooklyn Bridge UFO Abductions. Bud, thank you so much for being here today. What do you make of Linda's story and all of the stories we've heard today?
Well, this is just the beginning in Linda's story. The most important thing is that I began hearing from and being able to contact people who witnessed Linda and three small figures come out the 12th-story window of an apartment building down near the Brooklyn Bridge under the brilliant lights of a UFO at 3 in the morning. This took about 1 minute. And I had witnesses at different locations, all of whom are telling the same story. These people are extraordinarily credible people. And I have detailed all of this very, very long business. It's very complex in my book, and I suggest if people have doubts or curiosity, they read the whole thing. I've noticed that people like to hold their hands up quickly before they've heard the whole story. But we have to hear the story, get the evidence, like any scientific investigation, to know what to
So
weigh.
did they fly out of the 12th-story window?
They were rolled up in a kind of fetal position. They came out the window and then unrolled all simultaneously, according to the witnesses, and went up into the craft. But I'd like to say one thing. You asked me about the people on the panel here. There are at least some young people and children, and I think the woman in silver can take care of herself, but the young people here can't. They're people who are, by any stretch of the imagination, are traumatized. I think that even though we're sitting here having trouble believing it, the proper attitude is one of sympathy and support for anyone who's traumatized. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody reports, if these were, say, rape victims, and they were here, we might laugh at them thinking they made up a rape because it got attention or whatnot. but they might have been actually raped, in which case humor is not the proper attitude towards them. These people, and I'm thinking of 10 in particular, need the support of at least people caring for what happened to him. And instead of laughing and saying from the outside, was he smoking this or eating that, and his mother has said no, we should be saying he needs somebody to talk to, some help he can get. I have worked so far with 8 psychiatrists who've come to me because of their own personal abduction experiences. A whole range of psychotherapists, psychologists who have had abduction experiences.
So there's no doubt in your mind, Bud, that this is happening to people.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that I can tell with any of the people here, but I just can, my gut reaction to several of the people is that they look as if they have been traumatized.
They absolutely do. Yeah,
okay.
I
and in that case, I think they need support, not laughter. Now, skepticism is extraordinarily important. We need to be skeptical. We need to examine every claim or story on its own. But ridicule is really out. I think to laugh at these people...
Are you guys hearing this?
It's a little different,
yes.
Ricki, it's a little different for a woman who is an adult and who claims to be an alien. She can handle it. But for the kids and young people...
We need to support them.
We need to support them.
All right, we're going to work on that, aren't we, gang?